All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. And I was instructed this morning. I was instructed to give it about a 30-second delay before I started talking, but that wasn't even long enough, apparently. Boy, I'm thirsty. I need to get something ice cold. Don't you agree? Yes. I'm going to go with the Mountain Red. This is my preferred beverage. Red Mountain. This is a seasonal beverage that is only available at certain times of the year. And I like to say that I got a nickel head on this, but I did not because it doesn't do that very well. It just doesn't do that very well, ladies and gentlemen. So let me clean up this area here a little bit. There we go. And cheers to each and every one of you. So I just put up a notification to let you know about some stocks that were hot, and one of them that made a nice little move in the after hours was VMAR. So if you happen to be sitting on that, I might suggest that you could sell some of it here. It was actually higher. It was at went to 152 in the after hours, so it was up 20 cent higher than the close, which was at 132, so 20 cent higher than the close. And I sent out a notification to everyone to let you know that it was on the run. So hopefully you did get that notification and you sold it when it was at the top. Because I sent out that notification to all of my members. Everyone that's a member of the channel got that notification. And so if you didn't get that notification, make sure you double click that bell and get these notifications. So the stocks that I want to look at this evening are the ones that were running today that I got a little bit of. And these are the stocks that were called out today. There you go. At least these are the ones that I saw anyway. And these are the individuals who called these out. So let's go see how they did. SHPH. How'd that end up doing? Well, right now, in the after hours, it's down 5.53%. Now, I'm only holding 80 shares of this stock, so I don't have a lot on the line. Down 5% in after hours. $3.93. And that is at 7:52 p.m. All right, SHPH. Now let's take a look at AGEN. AGEN closed at 508. My dollar cost average is 514 on it. And it's at 515. 5:15 at 7:53 p.m. So I'm actually a little bit green on AGEN. And if I were you, you might want to just go ahead and sell some of that. It's up to you. But it seems to be recovering after a big bash down all day long today, AGEN. And looking at VMAR on the chart right now, this is VMAR right now. And we're going to look at AGEN, right? AGEN. AGEN. There we go. That's what it's doing right now, AGEN. And another stock was SOBR. We're going to go to the chart on SOBR. And it's moving up nicely in the after hours, folks. SOBR. SOBR. And approaching a line which was a line of resistance several times in the past, which is right here. Right here. And you can see they stopped it right there during the daytime. And now they stopped it at the closing, stopped it right after the closing. And now look at them trying to stop it again right here at the end of the day from crossing that line. That same line that they were here. Oh, yeah, it's very, very frequently visited, this line. You can see it over and over. And I'm showing it to you now. And there it is. There's the line right there. And you can clearly see how this line has been resistance there, resistance there, resistance there before it popped, resistance there on a little pullback, a hitch and go, resistance right there, resistance right there, resistance over here, folks, there and there. I mean, look at the resistance line right here being broken right now as we go out of the day, closing out the day. Closed at 117, now sitting at 121 bid, 122 ask. And that is SOBR. If you own it, you might want to sell some knowing that it is, in fact, at a point of resistance right now. You might want to sell some. It's historically known as resistance there in the pre-market, there in the pre-market, there in the pre-market. Over here, it was resistance right there. It was resistance right there, and should be resistance to the rise again now. But if it goes over that price, it's going to go up to here, and that price is 126. And then it's going to go up to 129. And from 129, it'll go all the way up to 134, 133. All right? And then it's going to stop again here, most likely. And that's at 144 a share, 144 a share. So I'm talking here about SOBR. SOBR. There's the chart. We'll look at on the 20-day chart now. There it is right there, SOBR. And notice this level of resistance twice hit that we've gone above now. I like it a lot. I'm going to put a line right here. There should be one. You should have one there. Right there. There should be resistance. There should have been resistance right there at that line. Folks, this looks very strong. This is a triple upside crossover on a 20-day chart. It's a triple upside crossover on a 20-day chart. A golden cross, it's called, ladies and gentlemen. A golden cross. And look at those two lines of resistance that it just broke over right there. Boom, boom, that looks good. Oh, man, that looks good. SOBR. I'm hanging on to that if I were you. Let's look now at VMAR. And I see it's at 137. And that's over my dollar cost average, which is 132. My DCA is 132. And right now I'm up 348 on this one today, VMAR. And if I could sell it, though, I would sell it right now. If I could sell this, I would sell it right now. VMAR, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to me. Now we're going to look at some other charts. And again, I like this look right here. SOBR, we're going to be watching that one in the morning. That looks good. What was the news on this today? Let's go see what the news is. Why Vision Marine Technology shares are trading higher by over 60%. Shares of Vision Marine Technologies gained 60%, hit 226 in pre-market trading after the company reported its unaudited financial results for the third quarter. Third quarter revenue jumped 27% to 18.4 million from 14.5 million in the second quarter of last year of 2026, I'm saying, not last year, this year. So their third quarter was a lot more, almost 4 million, 3.9 million more dollars. And that's a 27% increase over their second quarter in 2026. And Vision Marine shares jumped on that news. And so this is Vision Marine. That's VMAR, not this stock. That's VMAR. Vision Marine is VMAR, I believe. Yeah, that's not this stock. But SOBR, it says, are trading higher by around 30% here. Oh, circuit breaker to the upside, halted up 216%. SOBR up 216%. Well, now let's go look at the 90-day chart. 90 days. Okay, now this changes things, folks. This changed things here. This definitely changes things. We're going to take a look at this. And we're going to draw this line of resistance right here that is at $1.23. We're going to draw it all the way across here. And we're going to mark it right over here. There. So there it is right there. This line where it is right now has not been visited since right there. Okay, a long time ago, folks. But this has been visited, this line. And look how they brought it down off of it once and raised it and then dropped it, raised it above it and then dropped it, raised it up to it and dropped it, took it up to it and dropped it. And now they take it up to it here. And here's the relevance right here. There's where they did it over and over on this number. This is a famous number for them. And I would call it the median number is what I'd call it. Because I'm going to tell you something this. If it goes over this, then it jumps up to this range. And it goes over this and gets over this, then it jumps to here. And if it gets over that, and that's a big number, 150 a share. If it gets over 150, this thing's going to go ballistic. So you guys write it down, SOBR, over 150 and it's gone. All right, Net 5, hey there. Wendy, hello, good evening, yes. You, Catfish, what's happening, good sir? Oh, I just decided to do a little late night looking at some stocks that might take off tomorrow. And this one closed at 117, and it's now sitting bid 122, ask 124. SOBR. And again, now going back to over here, I do want to put some lines of resistance in right now on this stock. So next time I look at it, they'll be there. So there's a key number of resistance from where we are right here. The next level is really going to be here, right there. And then the next one's going to be, looks like here, right there. And if it breaks that, then it's really going to make a nice move up to here. Okay? And if it can get over that level, well, then it's going to come up to right there, it looks like. Yep. Yep. Right there. Right there's your next level of resistance, right there. Then it breaks past that and it goes to this level here. And if it can get beyond that, it'll go to this level right here. And these are areas where you need to sell, folks, okay? Don't hesitate to sell on that line. And that price is $1.77. If it breaks over that one, it could go up to here to about $1.80. Oh, there's definitely a line here. Yeah, definitely. Look at how they dropped it down to that line right there. And then it goes to here. All right, that's it. I've just laid it out for you, folks. And if it breaks over that number, this thing's going to go through the roof. And you've heard me tell you that before. And you've seen how many times I'm right. When it goes over that line, man, it just goes to the roof. All right. And that price, ladies and gentlemen, is at $199. $199. All right. So that's the course set for this stock right here. Now, I want you all to realize something. Look where this is. And I'm going to change this to just the pointer here. Hold on. There we go. And I want to select this line. And I want to pull this all the way across. This is at 116 a share, basically, or we'll call it 116 a share. So let's go ahead and take this line way out here, all the way across to 116, right there. And now I'm talking about a line where the price stopped, the blue line stopped and fell to here, and then it rose back and broke above it. So where is that relative to the past? Well, look right here. Look how long they hurt and jerked and 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 hurt and jerked. That's freaking 6-7 days, people. 7 days of fleecing this out completely of all retailers. So when it got back there, it just blows beyond it. It goes over it. It went from here to there because it's already been fleeced out. There's a gap there. Oh, man. So let's go over here and look some more. So then it jumps up from there all the way to there. And the next line to where we should sell this on any darting price would be right there. And that price is at 136 a share. So you're going to be selling at 131, 32, 133 through 136. And then the pullback down to whatever. And then you're going to go on up past 136 to this level right here. And that number is 150 a share. And you're going to sell it at 147, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. 53. And then they're going to pull it back down to 140, 138, maybe 133. Then it's going to go on up over 150 and you're going to sell it at 152, 54, 55. Throw in 160 there because once it gets to 160, 61, it's going to drop to 150 again or 148. I know what I'm talking about. I'm teaching you guys. You already know this, but I'm just going through it with you. So there's what you're going to do. When this blue line hits here, there should be resistance. So when it's there, whatever the price is, you should sell some of your stock. Looking back on it, though, it has broken above this line where they stopped the blue 5-day today right there. That looks good, folks. It looks good. The blue has broken over this line where they stopped it today, this pitch line right here. So I like that about SOBR. That's going to be my number one pick for tomorrow, SOBR. I'm going to put a little square around this. All right. Now, I also want to look now at my VMAR. And this is the long-term chart on this stock, which looks pretty horrible. I'll admit that looks pretty horrible. But if you zoom in on the long-term chart, something looks different. Okay, and there it is, VMAR, and looking back here, I draw a parallel between this line and that price is 124 a share, and I'm going to draw this out. There it is, 124 a share. And that's where that line is. And if you'll notice, this 124 line, ladies and gentlemen, that blue line right there that's highlighted right there, look how long they've been on this line. I mean, good Lord, folks, one full 2 days, 2 days on that line, 2 days. And it could be even longer. Oh my gosh, just look how long it's been at this 125 price, 124. And truth be told, the real low has been right here. Yes, that's the real low. And I'm going to show it to you right now, ladies and gentlemen, on this stock, which is the stock VMAR. Take a look right here. There's the blue line where the price is now. Look how it was served as a low right there, and a low right there, and a low here, and a low there, and a low again, and a low once again. And as we come across a low all day long, they kept it there. All during the pre-market, sat there on that low. Then it started making a move. And then where did they run the 5-day down to? Just right there, well above this standard line of where the low is, all right? You would have thought they would have brought it back here for sure to that number, 115, okay? 115. And I'm mentioning this because right now the price is closed at 132 and it's at 140 and 150 bid ask. VMAR, everyone. And hello there, Vladimir. And JM, hello. Which stock? VMAR. And so I'm going to look at this on the 10-day chart here. And again, there's something that you need to pay attention to here with VMAR is that this line that I just drew for you, where this stock was all day long, and then all after hours, and then all day the next day, and then the all day the next day, and all day, what I'm getting at? And then they drove it down here and got all of the retailers out of it, completely out. And I'm talking about 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times lashing out the retail. And then they let it run. And it runs up over this number again. And then the 5-day, which they just attacked down in after hours, just stopped right there. What number is that? That number is at basically 130 a share. 130. Surprise, surprise. And that number right there, where they just ran it down to 130, you better take a look It's been resistance right there, 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 and it sat on it right there. It just sat on it there, sat on it there, sat and 130, folks. That number right there, that price right there. 130 a share, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you're talking about. That line is at 130, 130, 130. That's a key line, and they just bounced right off of that thing. Boing. And again, this stock that I'm talking about here is VMAR. Look at it drop and then pop. And the line they bounced it off was this one here. And let's go see what that's 125. Yeah, 125. Oh, there's a heavy line there, folks. $125. Right there, 125, 125, 125. I mean, so many times they hit that line. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there you can see on this chart right here that this is coming over right now a very, very long term line. A long term line. All right, right there. I mean, a long term line. And it's breaking over it right now. VMAR. The bid is 156 and the ask is 157. Yes. VMAR. I know there's not a lot of people watching, but you can see what's going on with the price right now. That's for dang sure. And today, my account gains just jumped significantly with that VMAR on the move because I've got so many shares of it. So that's a good profit today. AGEN, look at that. $2,000 gain on that, too. Let's take a look now at this stock, VMAR on the 1-day chart. There it is right now. And the 5-day, oh my goodness. Look how common this line of resistance has been today. Hold on. This line right here. I mean, look at that line of resistance right there. And look at it having broken over that now. And right here, look at the resistance to the drop, the resistance there. It just kept stopping there and going up from there, stopping there and going up, and stopping and going up. Now it's not stopping there. Man, oh man, it's not stopping there now. It stopped there once, and that's it. Once in the after hours was enough. It's done with that crap. And that line goes back, folks. Let's see if we can find a parallel universe to that line. And it's right there. And the price is right there. And that price is 149, folks. 150 is what it is. right there. And if we keep dragging it across the screen, probably see another place where it was. Yeah, right there for sure. Right there. 2 times they double nutted it to this line, 3 times even. Oh, they're familiar with this line. They are. Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, yeah, they are. 149. Look right there. Goodness gracious. Been all over that line. Golly. I can keep dragging it across here, and it just gets hit time and time again. So there's a known line of resistance on this stock at 150, folks. And you can just bet on it stopping at 150. Look at it, stop at 150 right there. Stop at 150 there. Stop at 150 right there. Stop at 150 there. Stop dropping there. Stop dropping there. Stop dropping right there. And then it stops dropping there now. Watch it. It's going to be again. This is now your time frame now. And see it over and over and over there. Look at it. I mean, look how often it stopped at this line, folks. 150. Look how long after they drove it down from a price of 224 back down to 150, where they then harvested it and they harvested it and they reaped it and they reaped it and they, oh man, yep, they reaped it, boy, on that line. Then they decided, let's fleece out all the wheat, fleece it out. So they fleeced out, and all they had, all the husks got ripped off of it, and boom, now it's ready to go to market, ready to make bread, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it's going to do. And wow, nice VMAR. I'm telling you. And from this line, ladies and gentlemen, it has made a very quick move from here up to there before, and even here to this line. There's a lot of space here. And this has already been fleeced out up above here. All this has already been completely stripped bare. There's nothing there. There's a big move from here to there coming, or to this line at least. And that price is 172. 172. Might as well sell it 166 first and then buy it back at 150. Then it'll go to 170, 72. And then you can buy it back at 166. All right. And I'm talking about VMAR here. VMAR. Hello there, Scuba McDubin. VMAR. And I also want to look at a stock that I'm holding, AGEN. Going to look at the one-day chart, AGEN. And there it is, AGEN. Now, I bought it right here near the close. I picked up some shares here, and it closed at 508. I'm holding 1,900 shares of this, and my dollar cost average is 514. 514 is my dollar cost average. And I don't know where Jayhawk is or anybody else, but maybe I have this channel for members only. I don't know. Hey, Kat, what you doing so late? I'm talking about stocks that I think are going to move tomorrow. And I also wanted to come on in time to tell everybody to sell And I did. I came on at 7:48 to let everybody know that it was time to sell some of the stock that we'd been buying all day long because it took off and it was 9% up in after hours. And I sent out a notification here. And if you go over here to my YouTube channel and I go to Catfish Tyler and I go over here to posts, this is what I posted for everybody. And I sent it out to all members on the channel. And it said, this is what I posted tonight. For those of you that don't get notifications and don't have that haven't double clicked on the bell, you should have got this notification. Dang, have a look at VMAR after hours. And this is for members only. This is only for members that I set this up. And I let you know that VMAR was up 9% in after hours. And I wanted you to know that, because we had collected it all day long and it was a good time to sell it there at 144 a share. 144 a share. Well, now I look at VMAR and I'm not so sure that was a good sell because hold on. VMAR is currently priced at, oops, I got to get the right letter chosen. VMAR. VMAR. And it is currently trading at an ask of 156 and the bid of 150. Oh, and it just raised. The ask just went to 157 and the bid is 156. And this is what it looks like right now, VMAR. So a lot of people were trading this with me today. And right now you can see what it's doing in the after hours. I'll show you right now. And we'll go to the summary page. And it is up 18% now in after hours. All right. So my suggestion is that you might want to be ready to sell some of this in the morning early if you bought this with me today. And I know, I don't know what your dollar cost average is, but hey, the day's range was $1.24. 124 was the low. And VMAR. Keep in mind, it traded 91 million shares today, even though shares outstanding is only 727,000. All right? Keep that in mind. This stock had shares outstanding, 727,000 outstanding. And then somehow today it happened to trade mysteriously 91 million shares. 91 million shares. 200 times more shares than exist were sold today of this stock. Because it only has less than 500,000 shares. All right? Cat's working the night shift. You're dang right. Good evening, Cobra 32. So VMAR. All right. Look at that thing moving. 153. And right now, VMAR, the bid is 153 and the ask is 154. VMAR. And the news that they had is because they had a great results. They had awesome results for their third quarter, and they grew, and the numbers were fantastic. Their earnings, they blew it up. They blew it up, folks. And and this is why they're springboarding in price. And as I look upon it now, I'm going to put a line in here, the dollar bill sign, and I'm going to put it in right here and say, why would they stop it right here? Where they're trying to stop it now, why? Did they ever stop it there in the past at this line? And is it a good place to buy it? Heck yeah, they did. Over and over and over. And you can look over here and see how many times today they monkeyed around with this line right here. So all day long, they sat below it and just above it and just below it and just above it and just below it and just above it, just below it and just above it, just below it, right on it, just below it, not to it. Ran everybody out when the market opened, when the market closed, got a nut sack, brought it up to it, dropped it, near it, dropped it, near it, dropped it. Now up to it again, the same line. And that's the same reason why, because over and over, that line, ladies and gentlemen, in the past has been their love line. That's the line they love to hold the stock at. It's their love line, people, right there. Now, notice when it was their love line back here, where was the 50-day? Right there alongside of it. When it was their love line here, well, the 50-day was right there. When it was their love line here, the 50 was here. But the whole time that was going on, look what the 200 was doing, dropping, 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 dropping. It finally forced this down to the next level. And then it dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped. But that was the end of that drop, wasn't it? Sure was. Those double bottoms right there at this price. That price was $1.20, folks, $1.20 a share. And as you know, I always buy the 20. So VMAR was a good buy this morning at the 120, or right this afternoon. 120. They tapped it twice. Look at that. Pair of tatas right there, and then off she goes. And this is VMAR. VMAR. And now trying to be stopped at this line, which is no doubt a line that they're in love with, okay? Just be aware of that, okay? If it breaks over this line, well, then she makes a nice move. She goes up to this one here. She goes right up here. And that price is $1.60. If she goes over the $1.60, then she's really going to make a freaking move up here to 171, 172. And from there, she's going to jump all the way up to right here. That price is going to be 186. 186, 87, 88 for sure. We're going to sell it. You know that's a right on for sure. Right here, folks. You got to sell that number. You got to sell that number, and that number is 188. And we're going to be selling that number, ladies and gentlemen, on this stock, VMAR. Cat, could this be a long position as well? I don't know. You have to look at the 90-day chart on that to see. I really don't know. One thing to do is go back and look over their earnings history report and see, are they beating the street frequently? See, that's the one thing about SoFi. It always beats. Every earnings report, they're going to beat estimates. Now you can look here. Look at this. This 5-day is crossing this 200-day right now, folks. And the bid is 154. The ask is 156. This is on VMAR. VMAR. Okay. So today, this changes my value. And today on my trading, I made $5,195. Now $5,244. Because I got a lot of shares of this VMAR. I'm sitting on a whole bunch of VMAR. And right now I'm up 2,000 on it. That's it right there. VMAR. Vision Marine Techno. I'm sitting on a bunch of shares, folks. 8,900 shares of this stock. And on the chart, I like what I see. It is currently breaking over the 200-day moving average. The 5-day eclipsing that. And I can only show you this, folks. I cannot guarantee you that it's going to keep going up. All I'm telling you is it looks very promising right now. All right? And it's VMAR. And the bid is 155 and the ask is 156. And it looks good. That's all I can tell you. And I'm also going to take a look at another stock or two here. NXTC. I'd like to take a look at NXTC. I traded this today and I made a good profit on it. NXTC. NXTC, Tyler. Come on, get it spelled right. NXTC. There it is. I made $1,300 on this stock today, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to take a look at it on the chart right now. NXTC. All right. NXTC. This stock was called out this morning by Jayhawk. And I made $1,300 on this, Jayhawk, so thank you very much. Michael, hello there. Welcome. We're looking at hot stocks right now, and this is one of them. It went up 201% today, and then it got run down all day long. It was still up 201% when it closed, but it was up like 280% or 290 or 300% even, I think. I think it was even up 400%. Yep, 400%. And because the price was at $12.36. $12.36 NXTC. And to find out what the news was, the news came out at 8 o'clock this morning, higher after the company announced a merger with Avir Therapeutics. And as it turns out, I read into this a little bit, and the people with the NXTC shareholders are going to end up making out good on that deal, okay? It's a great deal for the shareholders. And there are a lot of details to it. But anyway, the combined company expected to operate as Avir Therapeutics and trade under the ticker AVRX after the deal closes in H2, secured a concurrent $320 million private financing to advance AVR 001, NextCure said. So they also did, I guess, a private financing for $320 million. The company expects the financing to fund operations through phase 2B psoriasis trial readout, the initiation of a phase 3 psoriasis study, and the start of a phase 2 ulcerative colitis trial, next year added. Shares were up more than 311% in pre-market. 311% pre-market because of a merger. So now all the dust is settled. And of course, it converges everything together right on the 200-day average. And this is what it's doing right now, NXTC. Just wanted to look at it, folks. It closed at 658, and now it's down to 535 bid, 536 after hours. So it's dropping even more in after hours. NXTC. And I don't know. I'm holding a little of that, I think. No, I sold all of it. I sold it all. I sold all of that, and I made a nice profit on that. That was part of my good gains today. 1,329 I made on that. NXTC. Okay. Now let's take a look at another stock, and I'm going to look at these ones that were called out today, ladies and gentlemen. So just give me a second here. We're going to be looking at now one more time. Look at chart VMAR. And there it is. VMAR, ladies and gentlemen, and it looks absolutely, I mean, bound for bust out. If it can get over this line right here, folks, it could jump all the way up. I mean, a nice springboard. This is proven to be very, very movie from this line. This is what I'm trying to show you. From this line that it's on right now, right here, that blue line. If you drag that on across here, you can see how many times it's moved off that line. I mean, look, it bounced off that line and went off crazy there. It bounced off that line once and twice, 3 times, and then boom. It bounced off this line one below and then went skyrocketing. And then it stopped at this line. It stopped at that line. Stop there, stop there, stop there, stop, stop. Herked and jerked all through here. And now it breaks right through it. And folks, it can easily, after this is all fleeced out, after it crosses this, it could go right up again. Because you can see, folks, there's a big gap here. From here to here, there's a gap. There's only a stop point right here. There's one stop right there. And that price is at 170 a share. And that 170 has been resilient too as a number to be resistant. You can see over here, right there, where they stopped it there, 170. That is a critical line. 170. Of course, this here is 172, and that is also going to be trouble, 172 and 173. I can't tell you that they are until I click on it, but I bet you they are. Yep, right there. That's going to be a line of resistance for sure. What there, 172 and 173. That's what that is. Right there, boom and boom. And that is at 172, folks. 172, that's the top line there, 172. It is 172, folks. I tell you it is. That's going to be resistance there. And you can see the reason it's not showing as 172 is because I'm a little bit, tiny bit over it. I really need to move it down just a little bit, fractionally, right to there. And now it'll be at 172. You'll see when I put over it now. 172. What do you know? Well, that's because that's a very common line there for a resistance, 172. And you know that's on my buy-sell sheet. That's why that number's on my buy-sell sheet, 172, 173. I can't tell you how many times I bought at 172 and sold at the 220 or 213. I've done it thousands of times. Bought at 172 and sold at 208 through 213. All right. Sorry, I had to step away. Which one is this? We're looking at VMAR. And what I'm trying to make significant for people to understand is this has been a present line of resistance, very, very, very stubborn line of resistance for a long time now. For 3 days, it's been a line of resistance, and we're breaking over it. Okay? And if it breaks above there, the next line, you got a resistance is there, then here, then right there, then it jumps up to right here, which is going to be over here. There's a line of resistance right there. Might as well take this one down here, which doesn't mean anything more, and we'll move it up. Let's move it up to there. Because that'll certainly be a line of resistance right there. And that number is 181. But of course, this is probably 188, right? Oh, that's 203. Nice. When the blue line's at 188, the price is at 203, folks. And when the blue line is next at 188, you ought to have a sell order in at 203 or 202, 201. When this blue line moves up to that line again, you ought to have your sell orders in at 199, 2, 201, 202, and 203. All right? And I'm telling you, that's what it's going to do. Once the blue line gets to this price, once the blue line gets here, it's going to be, and that price is 181. Once the 5-day blue line hits that number, you need to be having your sell orders in at 198, 99, $2, 201, 202, 203. And another thing is this, look back here. When you see where this blue 5-day stopped right there, where was the last time it stopped there? It was there. Well, it was there, and it was there, and it was there, and it was there. Oh my gosh, just look how many times it stopped on that line. Just look how many times it stopped on that line. Right there. Whew. Man, another love line of theirs right there. They love that line. They love that line. They love it. They love it. They're very happy with it. In fact, that's their median line right there. This is the median line right now. It is. This is the heart of it all. This is the heart of the matter. That is the main vein, baby, right there, all the way through. You can see it as clear as a bell. And they've been working off this thing, yanking it down and jerking it up and herking it down and jerking it up, herking it down, jerking it up, herking it down, jerk it up, herk it down, jerk it way up, herk it down again, herk it down to here twice. Man, that shows strength right there, man. I tell you what, if this blue line comes up and crosses over this, watch out, because then it's going to jump to here. That's it, man. It's going to go all the way up because there's nothing but air over this. There's nothing but air over this price. So if this 5-day, you let me know if it gets to that line right there. Right there. Let me know when it's there. When it gets right there, you let me know, okay? The blue line hits 172. I want to know. Because at that point, this thing's going to go to the freaking roof. And if it goes, to be honest, if it goes over 181, that's the real number. But 172 starts. Then 181 is here. And if it goes over 180, watch out, folks. If it goes over 180, after stopping here briefly at 172 and falling back to 155, then it's going to go up here to 180 and fall back to 166. And then it's going to go up here to 188 and then fall back to 177, 178, 180. Then from 188, ladies and gentlemen, which is right there, 181, this thing will then be on its way to a whole new world, okay? A whole new place where it's never been before. If it can get over this right here. Oh my gosh, right there, folks. Look at that point. If it gets over that thing, it's completely out of here. And that is 192. 192. There's another little line of resistance right here, but man, look at that. It's just a gap up after that. And right now, the bid is 159 and the ask is 160. All right. This stock closed at 132 a share. And my dollar cost average on it is 132. And right now, the bid is 159. The ask is 160. Man, I might go over $6,000 gain today, folks. Yeah, Ray Costello, VMAR, has a very small shares outstanding. That's very important to notice. And I did too earlier, saw that it had something like 457,000, right? 727,000 shares outstanding. 727.05 thousand shares outstanding. 727,000. And the float is 144,000. Now, I want you to realize something, ladies and gentlemen. When a stock has shares outstanding of only that small and a float that small, it traded today, it said, how many million? 94 million shares. How? 94 million shares traded, transactions. 94 million. Wow. And it only has how many shares? 727,000. Oh, goodness. That's right, Ray Costello. VMAR. That's the stock I sat on today. And I had a very good day today. Today I was up 5,400 today trading. And I got 8,000 cash to buy with tomorrow. And the stock I've got right now, trade SHPH. Right now on SHPH today, I was up 1,284 on SHPH. And it closed at 416 a share. And my dollar cost average on it is 403. It was up 40% today. It was actually up 70%. And I'm holding only 80 shares of that stock now. I sold almost every bit of it. But I made a 70% gain on that today. SHPH. And I sold all but 80 shares. And today, just right now, I'd like to do something here. I'd like to go to my YouTube studio. And if you guys just give me a minute here, I want to go to my analytics again. And I want to get to see more here. And I want to get to top geographies in the last 28 days. And just hold on. I can organize this. I can organize this by who's watching me for the longest time periods. And I'm being watched the most in the US, then Canada, then Australia is my third country, the most listened to in Australia. Then the United Kingdom, then the Netherlands, then Panama. Man, I got a lot of listeners in Panama. and a lot of time being spent by people in India and Taiwan and South Africa. And I mean, there's hours and hours, okay, uh, and views, and the amount of time that they're spending watching. But lately, I found one that interests me, and it was Bahrain. Bahrain. And I don't see it on here now. I don't know what happened to it. But I know over the last 5 day, the shorter period, 7 days. Let's see if they're still there now. Saudi Arabia is doing some listening to me for sure. And Israel and Japan and the Philippines, South Africa, Norway. Well, anyway, I was going to show you this one country. I don't see him now. I don't know why. Okay. Well, we'll say goodbye to that. And we're going to get back over here to stocks. And I want to look at, besides SHPH, I want to look at SUNE right now. And right here, I see the bottom on the SUNE. And I'm not holding any shares of this stock, but it was called out today by several people. And as you can see, it had reached a price of 432 in the pre-market. And that's why it was getting called out by so many people. SUNE. And if I go to monitor here, I am not holding any SUNE. I am holding 80 shares of SHPH. I'm holding 1,900 shares of AGEN, which I'm up 2,000 on today. I'm holding 560 shares of SOBR, and I'm up 70 on that today. I'm holding 8,000 shares of VMAR, which is about $1.35 each, and I'm up 1,500 on that today. BATL, I own 400 shares of. I sold almost all of that, and I have just 400 left. And I'm up 104 since I bought that. And these two, I just kept a few shares of 2 of each one, and I can't even trade them anymore because they went out of business. So anyway, so that's today's gain. Today's gain, 4,778. And it's trending and going right along with this stock, not SUNE. By the way, I do like SUNE right there. I like it, SUNE. I'm going to watch this one tomorrow, SUNE. Called out by Jayhawk this morning. Said no news. And it was also called out by Emmanuel Sells Houston. So we're going to look at JUNE for tomorrow morning, okay? Because that thing's been trounced down. And it hadn't had any news. But boy, howdy, have they been really swing trading this, man. Look at this low right here, 236, and in the high of 444. 236 to 444, almost $2 up. Well, $2.10 up almost. Wow. And it did it again, 444 in the pre-market at 7:50 in the morning. SUNE. Okay, we'll have to keep an eye on that one, folks. That one's really getting worked a lot. SUNE. Man, are they swinging that thing up and down? Look at that. Wow. Man, there might be some good money. Folks, listen, there's a gap right now from here down to here, and it could easily gap right back up the same way it came down. And this could be a mirror image of the way it came down. I'm telling you, folks, I've seen it before. So right here's the mirror, right here in the middle, okay? You just put your marker in right there, and there's your mirror. Okay, now you watch the stock and see if it doesn't come up here, then pull down a little, then come up to there, then move on sideways for a little bit, and then jump up to there, sideways move, and then come to here, then a pullback, then a run up to there, sideways move right there, a sideways move for sure right there. There should be a line right there, definitely a line right there. Oh, God, yeah. Oh, I can't believe I didn't have a line there already. But anyway, there's definitely going to be a resistance line right there for sure. Right on that line right there, resistance. Because there was resistance over here and right there and right there and right there and right there and right there. And there will be resistance when it gets there. Okay. That's SUNE. ASTA, Noah Floods. Wow, late night. Yep. ASTS. All right, let's take a look at it. And I'd like to ASTS, Noah Floods. Okay. And SUNE, he says, has a lot of traders watching it. I believe that. It has that feel to it. And I've already gone into where all the lines of resistance are on this stock. So when it makes its moves, I'll know where to sell some there, buy back a little, sell some there, buy back a little, sell some there, buy back, sell by the drop, sell by the drop. So, man, they're gonna make this thing make a move possibly, and it could go right the same way that it dropped, could be the same way it rises. And we'll keep an eye on that one for tomorrow, SUNE. Now I want to look at OPAL. Let's look at OPAL. OPAL. Wow. Man, that thing looks very, very hot. It just doesn't look like it has a lot of volume for some reason. A lot of movement, but on very little volume. And the bid is 202 and the ask is 230. All right. Let's look at ASTS. Yeah, it looks like it might be making a move here. And you know what? I don't see anything relative to this line here that they stopped it at here just then. I don't see any relevance to this line right there where they just stopped it. Not over the last 5 days. I don't see any relevance to that line. Oh, I got something weird going on here. Hold on. Give me a second. Now, I don't want to put that kind of line. I want this kind of line. Okay, so here's what I like about it. Number one, if it was truly being manipulated by anybody who had any kind of power whatsoever on ASTS, they would have just drove the price down to 6666. Okay? Now, I see they still got the 666, which they think is cool, but they don't realize it doesn't mean anything anymore because the number 666 is not the sign of the beast. That is not the sign of the beast. The Bible was misinterpreted way back when. The text was actually 616. They've determined this now because they found some newer Dead Sea Scrolls. And they found out that they got a microscope and put on it, and they could see it clearly it's 616, folks. And those numbers referred to gematria, which referred to the name of the emperor at the time, which was Caligula. And so they were talking about Caligula and using the number 616 to represent Caligula in the Bible. And but just so you know, 666 means, look it up yourselves, folks. You can Google it, or you can ask AI. Maybe Alexa knows. Alexa, what do you know about the sign of the demon being the number 616?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Alexa, is 616 the mark of the beast?
From Christianity.com. The number 666 is the mark of the beast.
No, Alexa, stop. You don't understand. Anyway, you have to look it up yourselves, folks. It isn't. From what I have learned, obviously, only from what I've learned, I can't guarantee and never do guarantee anything. But you can look into it yourselves if you want to. You'll find out. It's interesting stuff. Anyway, now about in regards to this stock on the ASTS. Now that I've looked at this and I see these lines of resistance that I put in, right there being one of them, 666, and the next one being here, which is at 637, 68.37. So here we were at 66.69. The next resistance, 68.37. Okay. The next resistance, my friend, should be nowhere until it gets to here, right here. Right there's your next line of resistance, right there. At that price is $69.41. So you ought to be selling 69, 36, 37, 38, 39. And actually, first you should sell 69. You should sell 69.30 through 69.49. And then you're going to get a pullback. Because at 69.41, it should pull back, but it could go over on momentum to 69.48, 49, 69.50. All right, but that is a sell point. And you should sell some at 69, 37, 38, and 39, and 40. That's my call. All right? You should sell there. And if and when it breaks over that number, then it could run up here, and you should sell right here at this price. And that is going to be at 69.90. So go ahead and sell 69.80, 8, 89, and 69.90. I'd even start at 69.86, 69.87, 69.88, and 69.90. And if it breaks over that, then it's going to run up to this price right here. And that price is 71.13, of course. 71.13. 71.13. And you should sell 71.06, 7, and 8. Then you get to buy back at 70.66, 70.72. Then it'll go over 71, and that's when you sell at the 71.20. If it breaks over that number, then it's going to go up to this number right here. And you should sell some at 72. Just sell 72. Sell 71.97, 98, 99, 72, 72.01, 2, 3, 4. And from there, 72, it'll go down to 71.60, 71.55. Maybe even 71.49, 71.33, 71.38. But when it breaks back over 72, then you should sell it at 73. Just sell it at 72.88, 72.89, 72.90. Then some at 72.92 and 93, and 72.98, 99, and 73. Sell it at 73.01 and 2 and 3, and then it'll go back to 72.66. Because it never just goes over any round number, folks. They won't let it just bowl over that number. They always take it over it a little, and then they pull it down. 99 times out of 100, folks. All right? Always sell the round number and the numbers leading up to it. Okay. Now I want to look at, one more time, I want to look at OPAL. And I really like the look of this stock, OPAL. Looking at the 10-day chart on it, there's the 10-day, and look at it's crossing this line of resistance right now, folks. I mean, it's crossing that blue line, is crossing that right now, OPAL. Man, it could really make a nice move up from there. OPAL, folks. Man, that one is really going to be, I'm gonna put a square around that one too. Man, that thing looks awesome. And I'm going to make sure and put down 10-day chart. And look at the 20-day chart. Let's look at it. Oh, man, it's going to move, folks. Listen, I'm telling you, this thing, it ran up to this line right here, and it stopped dead in its tracks and fell back down to there. And now it's left there, and it's gone through this number. And if it breaks over that number, folks, it's going to go. Well, the minimum it's going to go to is right here. And that price is 224. But if it breaks 224, and it could pull back because it stopped right there before and came down. But if it breaks 224, folks, man, this thing's going to go all the way up here. And that price it's going to is $230 a share. And nothing's going to stop it. And as it stands right now, that's what the ask is, $230. Bid 202. Ask 230. After hours. 9 p.m. All right. And now I'm going to look at another stock called out today, PROP. And John Connor, I know, made some good money on that stock today. Good pick, John. OPAL, that was a good pick today. And PROP, I can't find. There it is. PROP. Dang, I like the look of that. And it fell all day. So, John, that's not too good on that one, but I'm going to watch that one too. Because it's bounced very nicely off below that 200 right at the close when they tried to splash the close, folks. 73 cents. Closed at 73.59. The bid is 69 and the ask is 79. All right, well, that's PROP. Next, I want to look at FIG. And that looks quite interesting. FIG. Jeez. Let me know the next time the price drops to the 50-day average. Man, that's a good buy there. Buy it on the 50, 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 buy it on the 50. Wait till it drops to the 50, folks. FIG. Next, CYCN. CYCN. Whew. Man, that looks good. Look at the buy that came in at the end, the candlestick there. CYCN. Whew. But it's got to get over 380, folks. That is the major line of resistance on this stock, and it's got even more lines. It's got a couple of them. But 380 is the biggest one it's got to get over right there. And the next one it's got to get over is right here. And then the next one it needs to get over is right here. And the last one it needs to get over is here. And if it gets over that, it goes to the moon. So there's your lines of resistance right there, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can clearly see every one of them right back here. 1 is there, 2 is there, 3 is there, and 4 is there. Those are your lines of resistance with the 5-day, folks. And if it gets over that line right there, you let me know. If this price tomorrow goes over 388, I need to be informed, please. CYCN. Currency Brutus called this out this morning. CYCN breaks 388 and she's gone. That's what I say. Breaks 388 and she's gone. And let's look at the 10-day chart. Oh, yeah, she breaks 388 and she's going to be gone, folks. There's no question about it. In my mind, if she breaks 388, she's gone. And the first line of resistance is going to be for the blue to come up here and break 380. Okay? And that's the stock I'm talking about. I like it. CYCN. And let's go see what kind of volume that had today. CYCN. Okay? And this is the stock right now, CYCN. And it only traded 30,000 shares today. See, that's the thing that I pointed out about that chart. It didn't look like it had a lot of volume on it. And I'm right, it doesn't. It doesn't have a lot of volume. So that's the main thing about it. And that's what I wanted to confirm. Average volume 63 million. And on this 5-day, this stock is up 10% on very minimal volume, okay? It's moving now on low volume, but it's breaking up to a new area that it hasn't been, see? Over the last 5 days, folks, it's at a new point. CYCN, I'm just letting you know. CYCN. And the volume has not been huge on this stock. And it's been hovering. It was at 140 a share in February and March. Then it went up to 160. Then it hit $4. Then it dropped back down to the 370s, 305, 305, 304, 329, 340, 348, 394 today. CYCN. Volume, very, very little on this. Very little volume. Very little volume, folks. That's the main thing about it. Very little. Sometimes only 5,000 shares a day. July the 6th, 5,000 shares. Very little volume on this. CYCN. The target price on it by Yahoo is $8 a share, the 1-year target price. How many shares are outstanding? 4.3 million shares outstanding. the float is 3.49 million. So shares short interest is very low. Percentage is only 4% short interest. Well, there you go, folks. That's CYCN. It just doesn't have a lot of volume for it. And right now, just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, the Dow futures, S&P futures, all green. The NASDAQ futures and the Russell futures, everything's green but the Russell. And oh, gosh. Please, Tyler. SoFi up 2.32% today. Closed near the high of the day, so that's good. And now I'm going to take a look at the stocks I still own a little bit of, that I closed and held just a little bit of. AGEN, my dollar cost average is 514. It's at 509 in after hours. Right now, I'm going to take a look also at SHPH. SHPH, and it's down 10% in after hours. I'm only holding 80 shares of that. I made 1,300 on this stock today, SHPH, and I want to thank you for calling that out. That stock was called out by top gainers, J.R. Plianis. J.R. Plianis, SHPH. J.R. Plianis called that out on June the 29th. It was $2.90 a share. Nice gain, 71%. Nice. Good call out there, J.R. Plianis. Nice. Hey, Tyler, let me know what you think about Roma, please. I've been buying some but cannot be a strong day trade. All right, let me see. Oh, hold on. MODD. All right, MODD and ROMA. Okay, got it. No problem. MODD. MODD. Well, it's down 68% over the last 6 months. And it looks like a very lame, wounded duck, okay? And I don't like to put it any other way. It doesn't look good. Over the last month, down 4%. Over the last year, down 79%. You're going to have to find a stock to move over to on, and I would suggest you take a look tomorrow at SOBR or VMAR. Okay? SOBR or VMAR. Let me show you what I like about SOBR. SOBR has a steadily rising 200-day moving average and a steadily rising 50-day average, which is pitching even more to the north. Sure, they drove it down to here, but hey, they drove it all the way down to here, and they drove it all the way down to here, and they drove it now down to just there because the 50-day just keeps rising. So my suggestion to you is watch this stock, and if this price, the blue line, ever gets to that 50, I'd buy it because the 200 is not going to let the 50 drop. The 50 may come out flat because they run this thing down, and the 50 might flatten out a little, but it's going to rise again. It'll just taper out and then take off because the 200 is going to keep pushing this thing. And if you want to look at it on a better scale, look at it on the 180-day chart. It's got a lot of rooms to still move up, especially if this 5-day breaks this line right here. Okay, because then you're seeing it move to there, then to there, then to right there. I've got all these lines of resistance laid out so you can see them right there. Ho, ho, ho. Anyway, there's a line of resistance up here too. I've got them all measured out. So just watch it. And when it gets here, the blue line moves to there, sell a little. Then when the blue line goes up to there, sell a little more. Then when the blue line hits here, sell a little bit more. Then the blue line gets here, sell, Mortimer, sell some. Make sure you sell when it gets to that line, Mortimer. Are you long on SKHY? No. Nope. The stocks I'm long are on this sheet right here. And I do not hold SKHY long. These stocks that I have on my long list, and you can see how they've done over the last year. They're doing dang good. And if you want this list, just send me become a member of this channel, and you get it at $24.99. I'll send you this list of all the stocks I'm long on. You just have to be a member of the channel. Go down there and click on the little dollar bill sign. It says membership, and then join at the level of Goliath. Don't just join because that won't get you this. Only you have to make sure and choose Goliath level, and you'll get these, all the stocks I'm long on. And all the stocks that pay dividends. I'll send you 72 dividend stocks that are on this sheet right here. And you can see how these dividend stocks have done over the last year right here on this column right here. And they pay in dividends too, folks. And I got 72 of them on here, and they're paying dividends. So if you want it, $24.99, and I'll send you my candlesticks for Thinkorswim. So there's SOBR. There's the reason I like it right now, SOBR. All right, that's one I would suggest you take a look at. And another one you might want to take a look at is this one here, VMAR. I'm going to show it to you on the 1 day. VMAR. There it is right there. And look how they tried to run this down in the after hours, folks. Look how they had to try to run it down all dang day on this news that they got today. Look at them run that thing down, folks. And then I bought it right there, and you should be buying it there. And then look at it go in the after hour, just like I said it would. I told everybody, man, it's not going to stay here. I told them it was very hard to barcode underneath a 50-day moving average with the 200 up above. I said it was almost impossible, I said. That's what I told everybody this evening about it, 5:30 this evening. I said, man, they're trying to hold this thing underneath a 50-day average and a 200 up here. Good luck, shorty, I told them. And I was right. And now look, it's triple crossover the 200-day moving average. How do you like that? Nice. And that's VMAR. Because when you look at this chart on the 20-day, you suddenly see that the 200-day and the 50-day are rising here. They're not falling. They're going up. And this one was going up until they attacked it way down. And now they're going to go up again, folks. It looks like there's the 50-day, the 45-day, the 200-day, the 5-day, the 10-day, and that is called convergence, people. That right there is called convergence. That is convergence. This right here, folks, is convergence. I don't know why I can't get the dang thing to draw a circle. I'm over here clicking on the circle shape. I don't know why it won't. But it won't do it. Huh. Uh-oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hold on. Right there. That is convergence, people. That is the definition of converging a stock. The 200-day, the 50-day, the 45-day, the 10-day, and the 5-day at a needle point. Okay, that is what it is. That's the definition of convergence. And the bid is 152 and the ask is 153. All right, well, that's VMAR. There it is on the 5-day chart. I provide, you decide. And it looks awesome. It looks awesome. The 5-day looks like it's about to break over the 200. The 10-day is breaking over the 45-day. The 45-day is approaching the red 50-day. Man, watch this one tomorrow. I'm telling you, VMAR, keep an eye on it. It closed at 132 a share, and the bid is now 152, and the ask is 153. It was down 6.38% today. And when I started buying it, it was down 14%. VMAR. All right. Next, I want to look at MODD. And again, this stock is not traded a lot of shares, very few shares, MODD. And now I want to look at ROMA. And on ROMA, Michael Anthony, SMPL, beat on earnings. Thank you. SMPL. Now, this Roma, I want to look at the 20-day chart. And why I particularly like this Roma is because of this line right here, resistance being broken right now. Okay, see this heavy line of resistance on Roma right there? And I see it breaking over that right now. And by the way, when it was at this line of resistance, the 50 was here and the 200 was down here. When it was at this line before, the 50 was here and the 200 was here. Now it's at this line and the 50 is here and the 200's up here. So I like this a lot. Thank you for telling me about that. ROMA. And I definitely will be watching this one tomorrow. No question about it. I like seeing that line broken right there. I really do like seeing that line broken there. That's a 20-day line of resistance there. And let's go to the 180-day. Now, the reason I wanted to go to the 180-day is so you can see there's another line of resistance right there. And you better be selling this stock when the blue line gets there. And that price is $9.86. When the blue line gets there, the last time the price hit $11.77. So you should be having sell orders when this blue line gets to $9.86. If this is around $11.77, you should be selling. When the blue line gets here, you should be selling whatever the price is. All right? Because you can see actually it stopped even below that. So you wouldn't be bad. You wouldn't be bad to sell right there too, right there. Man, that line where it is now, man, it's critical. These two lines, it's going to gap up to there if it doesn't stop now. It's going to there. It's going to go up to there. And you should sell some at that price. $9.86. All right. When the blue line gets there, you should be selling wherever the price is. Roma. I like the look of it. Thank you for calling it out. And wow, look at that. The bid. Hold on a second. Gary. Yep. The bid on this also is 905. And the ask is 958. Wow. 958 at 9:35 p.m. Wow. Wow, folks. Well, I like the look of that one a lot, Roma. Thank you for calling that out. It looks like it's on the verge of a nice springboard because there's really nothing above it here. There's no previous owners for more. And I like stocks like that. Not in the last 180 days, folks. And this is one thing called an unsustainable spike. But this is called momentum. When you have a low that's there, right there, and you see that low again, and then it rises off that and goes, and you got a low down here, right here. Man, look how it gapped through that, folks. And there was a line of resistance right there, right there, right there, right there. And there was none there, no resistance this time. And then a line of resistance there, and it went over that. Then there's a line of resistance here, and it's going over that right now. Man, oh man. And then there's no line of resistance till it goes up to there, folks. All right. And that price is $9.82 a share. $9.82 a share. All right. When the blue line gets to $9.82, you should be selling this stock, whatever the price is. All right. Thank you for telling me about that. It really looks good. Now I'm going to look at it on the 1 day before we get away from it. Yeah, it looks really good there, obviously. Really, really very good. Now I want to look at it, SMPL. SMPL. All right. Now, this one I don't know about. I don't like buying stocks that have a 200 falling at such a steep angle. But then again, if this number has been a bottom before, I might want to get it. And I can see that it has been. And now I want to see, going back to a 5 day, Is it relevant to the last 5 days? Oh, heck yes, it is. It's relevant to the last 5 days for sure. Let's run this number on over where it belongs, over here. See that? Now you can see they've tapped it once right there. They hit it there twice, 3 times, 4 times, and now the 5th time on that line. Let's go to the 20-day. Oh, yeah, they've been all over this line, man. Golly, have they been all over this line? Jeez, oh, Pete. They've been slathered in this line, folks. They've been slathered in this line. Look how they ran it down to it there. Look how they took a bath in it right there. They slathered in it there. They slathered there. They slathered there. And now they're slathering again at the same line. Goodness gracious, look at that line. Wow. Well, the first time it experienced it was right here, and that was about 2 months ago, it looks like. Then it experienced it here about a month and a half ago. And then it experienced it here, looks like about a month ago. Then it experienced it here and here and here and here. And then it experienced it here. And now they're at that same freaking line again. How do you like that? It kind of makes you feel like it's spinning its wheels, doesn't it? But that's exactly what they want you to feel. That's exactly what they want you to feel, like it just can't get away from that number. There's no escaping that number, 1203. Go back and look at it on the 180-day chart again. Just look at that. 1203, 1203, 1203, 1203, 1203, 1203, 1203, 1203, 1203. You got it? 1203. And SMPL, oh my God. Gary, SMPL has a bid of 1168. And it's got an ask of 1279. Listen, here's what you do, okay? In the morning, if that is still the case, you want to do the math. What is 1279 minus 1168? Well, it's $1.11. So half of $1.10 would be what? 55 cents. Add 55 to 1168, and you're probably going to end up around 12.10 a share. Put in a buy order at 1177. Just put in one at 1177. Let it sit there with 2 shares at 1177. Then raise it if it doesn't buy and doesn't fill. In the morning, good till cancel plus extended, and put your buy order in at 1180. Let it sit there for a few minutes, and if it doesn't fill, put it in at 1182. Then 1188. Then 1192. Then 1194. Then try 1199. And if it fills at 1199, then sell it right away for 1278. Put your sell in 1277. Then drop it to 1275. Then drop your sell order to 1273, 72. Then drop it to 1266. And sooner or later, like Jayhawk often does, you'll find this gap that's 50 cents apart sometimes. And you can just keep bidding at this 50 below and selling 50 above. Bid 50 below, sell 50 above. Bid 50 below, sell 50 above. And folks, you just cannot believe how much money you can make doing this. Jayhawk has been doing it all the time. He looks for stocks with gaps between the bid and the ask. And then that's what he's doing, what I told him to do. And you can do it too, folks. All right. Yep, Jayhawk. I know you know something about it. That's why I mentioned you right there. So there's a prime one for you right there, Jayhawk. SMPL. SMPL. Bid 1168, ask 1279. Man, I can't wait to hear how you do on that tomorrow, Jayhawk. All right. I can't wait to hear how you do on that tomorrow. All right. So today we had a lot of stocks called out today. I want to thank everybody that called out these stocks today. Thank you very much. I made a lot of money, Jayhawk, on your call. Your call, SHPH, Jeffrey Grew. Thank you. And I know SHPH was actually called out by someone else back, a long time ago. About 8 days ago, it was called out. I looked him up. And SHPH was actually called out originally by SHPH was called out by J.R. Plienes back on June 29th, and it was $2.90 a share. SHPH. But that being said, you did tell me about another one that I bought today and made a lot of money on, Jayhawk. I thought it was you that called it out. And I didn't hold on to it either. It was the what was it? NXTC. No, Jeffrey Guru told me about that one. NXTC. Man, that was nice. And I think I'm going to owe it to Rediggity for telling me, and JP Panic for that VMAR. VMAR was good, baby. And I think it's going to keep climbing. VMAR. Anyway, there's the one-day chart on SMPL. I'm going to looking at the 1 year chart. It doesn't look real good. SMPL, that 200, the long trend is still falling, my friend. The 200 is still falling. So watch out, SMPL. But if it can get above this, then who knows what it'll do if it gets over this right here. It's got to get over this number before it goes anywhere. Okay? SMPL has to get over this number first. And that's 1335. And then it's going to go to this number. And then it'll go up to this number. From 1335, it's going to go to 1434, a dollar up. And then it's going to go all the way up to 16 bucks. Then the next stop is going to be right here. And that price is going to be $16.99, $17. And then it's going to go all the way to there. And that price is going to be $18.55. Okay, so I've got it all laid out for you where it's going to run. The next resistance is there, then the resistance is there, then it goes up to right there. From there, it goes all the way to here. And that price is going to be $23.85. $23.80. All right? And that's SIMPL. Now you can see all the resistance lines and know where to sell it. Okay? Know where to sell it, my friend. Know where to sell it. As it's rising, know where the resistance is going to be. Okay, that is SIMPL. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to look at the 1 day chart on, 1 day chart. And I want to look one last time at VMAR. Gotcha, Gary. Good. I wish you could have called VEE with us when I first called it out. Man, I'm sorry, man. Yep, that was Jeff. Yep, that was Jeff. I like this VMAR right here. It really looks good. And man, again, I wanted you to see what they just did on this 180-day chart. And on the 180-day chart, they just converged the crap out of this thing. I mean, they absolutely converged it completely together with the 5, the 10, the 30, the 45. They're just completely converged, everything there. And so it doesn't surprise me now on the one day that it's going off that, because there it was, totally converged right there in that package. If you look at the 10-day, maybe it'll be better. Or maybe the 5-day. There it is. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, that is the definition of converging a stock. When you get the 5-day, the 10-day, the 30-day, all the days, all of them together right there, it's completely converged. All right, guys. Hey, man, it's almost 10 o'clock. I didn't plan on going this late tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, that thing right there was completely converged right there. And that's VMAR. And the bid is 154, the ask is 155. And VMAR is breaking over the 200-day average as we speak. There goes the 5-day. There goes the 10-day. There is the 50-day. There is the convergence. And here is the explosion, is my call on this stock. And I could be wrong, but I don't think so. And the stock is VMAR. All right, everybody? I'm going to get out of here. I've been here all day, and I'm going to be here all night. God bless y'all. We'll see you guys at 7:48 in the morning, okay? I'm going to get to bed, everyone. Have a good night. Thank you for your time. We'll see you guys tomorrow, bright and early. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Catfish Tyler, over and out. See you guys tomorrow, everyone. Have a great night.